Sarah Storelli, on a quest to discover the people behind the cutting-edge innovations across industries, to tell the stories that define them far more than their titles. My guest today is Allison Freihoff. Well, thanks so much for being here with us today, Allison. It's such a pleasure to have you. We're excited to learn more nuggets from your amazing career.
Well, thank you, Sarah. It's an absolute honor and a pleasure, so thank you.
Of course, of course. So I want to just dive in. I feel like there's so much to unpack. So to start off, would tell us a little bit about the humble background, whether you want to take us back to your childhood all the way, or even, from your collegiate days and really maybe a little through that journey of how you are now here today.
So I think probably the most important thread that runs through my life is that I wanted to be a teacher. That idea of being able to teach, to be able to coach, to be able to have people grow, and even now in their professional careers is really important to me. So I love being able to be a mentor, a leader, to inspire. My brother was Down syndrome, and so my whole life was kind of built around those with abilities, as we call it. And my mom started a nonprofit, so me working with nonprofits now helps things come full circle, and to know that the work that we do is important and has purpose.
Well, I feel like I could go so many ways with that. But I think, as a follow-up to that, I'd almost say, given your familial background in that sense, who along your journey really has inspired you the most?
That's really hard because there's been so many people, but I guess I have to start with my dad, who always said to me, do good work, do your best, whether you are the garbage man or the president of the United States. Always do your best and always know that people recognize that. And whether I was serving dinner as a server in restaurants when I was going through college and doing that whole thing, or as I got into more professional career, it's always about really thinking about how do I show up and do my best? How do I bring the best to my employees as well and those that I work with? And that's been really important to me also.
That's great. I would even say, so from that initial kind of hospitality background, how do you think that has helped serve you in the role that you are today? Because I think that's quite an authentic background that relates to so many of our even viewers watching, where we all started off, my first job as a coach, I was a hostess, as well. And so I'd love to know a little bit of how you think some of those hospitality skills have helped translate through your journey.
Absolutely. Well, it's good to hear you were a hostess, because I believe that everyone should do that at some point in their lives. If you ever go out to eat, you should have some point been a server, or at least have the empathy for those that are doing that job. So you learn how to deal with difficult situations, you learn how to deal with difficult people, but you also learn that feeling of being able to serve someone and have done a really good job and someone enjoyed, whether it was their meal or their experience. And I feel like I've probably brought that all the way through my career as well.
I love that. And, building on that, at Amazon, we live by our leadership principles.
Absolutely.
And so I would love to know which leadership principle you identify with most. I know that it may be all of them. It's so hard to choose from. But if you could choose one out of all of them, which one would that be and why?
I will tell you that it is customer obsession, because it is that service to our customers, and especially the sector that I am in, which is nonprofits and nonprofit healthcare. Each and every one of those organizations is doing such good in the world. And so it is a fantastic opportunity for us to obsess about their mission and help them accomplish their missions. And we do that every single day. And so that's probably my favorite. But as a teacher, I can't get away from learn and be curious, which I do every day as well. Always be learning, always be asking questions, always be trying to understand someone's situation or their business or their mission or the programs that they run. So I could go on, as most of us can, because they really do resonate and we really take them seriously. We really try to live those leadership principles.
I'd really love to know from your perspective, especially when you're overseeing, so many nonprofits and from the healthcare space and really just across verticals and industries, of how you really think the power of tech can be used for good.
That is what drives me. That is my purpose. That's what I wake up to do every single day, is to look at what are the needs of our customers? What is the experience that they want to create? I see and have such an opportunity to see so many great ways where technology is making the world actually a better place. Certainly understand that's not how it's always used, but that's what I get to see, and that's what I get to talk about, and that's the teams that I get to work with. Is we think every day is, how is this technology going to help to create better experiences for those who are doing good in the world? My mom actually started a nonprofit, and I would come and help her we all volunteered. We all did so many things. And there'd be a printer that wasn't working, for instance, and it was broken down, and they'd be fussing with it, and it would take so much time. And I would say, Mom, I'm just going to buy you a printer. Let me just get you. Oh, no, no, no. We're nonprofits. We don't deserve new printers. We have to make do. And I said, okay, you're spending so much time with this, and you could be doing so much more serving your beneficiaries, being out in the community. So I think about that a lot when I'm working with our nonprofits who are doing amazing, innovative things with our technology. But there's often a lot of conversations around, no, this really is a return on investment for your programs, for your beneficiaries. I get very excited, as you can tell, when I can think about the innovative ways that they can use AWS technology.
And even from that standpoint, so for any of nonprofits that may be watching, to that extent, what other advice would you give them, maybe to be open to the idea of exploring leveraging technology to really help advance their purpose and mission?
Well, Sarah, I think you said the word be open. Be open to the conversation and the discussion, because there's so much that can be done. And we often have people think about your own consumer experience. Mm-hmm. Think about getting a package from Amazon, thinking about it's easy to return it. Think about all the little things that make that a delightful experience. We think about that every day at AWS as well. Think about how you would like that experience to be, and then talk to us because we think that we can help. We think that we truly can help with the technology to help you meet those mission goals.
That's great. Everyone, take note who's listening. Another question I have for you is, obviously you've had a fantastic trajectory and career overall, and I think that really is a true testament to your personal beliefs and really around your empathy. And so I think, being a woman in leadership and really making that climb, I'd love to hear even just a little bit about your experience, even any tips, for those who are watching as well, of, other, rising stars or women who are even just, starting out in their careers or looking to re-enter the workforce, maybe just explore a little bit of how important it has been to you on your journey about, not only being a woman in leadership, but even finding other mentors who are women in leadership.
Yeah. It's so interesting because when I started in technology, I won't tell you how many years ago, right in Silicon Valley, it was early days of Silicon Valley. There was one woman, and I won't mention her name at this point, but that really made a difference, pushed me farther than I thought I could go myself. And I think I learned a lot from her in that. And she kind of pulled me into a situation, was like, well, we're going to do a startup company and you're going to have sales and partnerships and this and that. And I remember thinking, okay, I haven't really done all of that before, but let's go try to do that. And she believed in me. And so now so much of my career over the last number of years has been in that broader perspective of a business. And so I like to think about that a lot is, okay, how do I push the next generation to believe in themselves, to take that next step, to be bold, to ask for that job, to ask for that promotion, to take on that additional responsibility because they can, and I know they can. And very often other people can see that in us before we even see it. And so I would say for women, be bold. I often say be bold, be curious about what else you can do and look for those other opportunities. And then my third one that I always come back to is be kind, because while you're doing all of those things, helping others come with you is so, so important. Don't be afraid when there's other really smart women around you. Bring them along, talk to them, learn from them. And you talked about some of those that are younger in their career, much smarter than I am, always. And I learned so much from them. And so I think that's the other thing to remember, that everyone has something to give and everyone has something to learn. And so it's usually a two-way relationship when you're working as a mentor or a mentee. And I try to remember that as well.
That's fantastic. Well, I would thank you so much for your time today, Allison. It's just been so wonderful having this conversation and hearing a glimpse into your journey and some really helpful nuggets for the audience listening in. And we're excited to continue to see all the amazing, innovations that you make, and looking forward to seeing more of your journey. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sarah.
Thanks so much.